I really don't have any intention to start making videos on feminism. I barely have any time to work on the series I have already started. In addition, most of the problems with people like Anita Sarkeesian have already been highlighted by people like Thunderfoot. But there's one personal incident I would like to share. In the summer of 2014, I took a class called Sex Role Stereotyping in American Education. It was an upper division class that fulfilled two of my requirements for graduation at once, therefore saving me the trouble of taking two classes during the main semesters, when I'm busy enough with my engineering courses. My overall opinion of that class was positive. It covered some interesting history and real struggles that women had to overcome, as well as issues that still exist to this day. There was one activity that I did take issue with during the class discussion part of it. We were assigned the task of grading a video game or some other piece of software for gender equality. You know, things like, are there boy heroes or girl heroes? Are the girls shown only doing gender stereotypical activities? Stuff like that. And then we give it a grade from 1 to 10. One of my classmates, a young woman, chose this game, Super Smash Bros. Melee, for the Nintendo GameCube. She described it thusly. The only females in the game were Princess Peach, who is depicted wearing a stereotypical girly pink dress, and Jigglypuff, but no one ever wants to play Jigglypuff. So she gave the game a 3 out of 10. Well, let's start with the obvious problem here. Only 2 female characters! Has she never heard of Samus Aran, the badass bounty hunter that has not only been in all 4 Smash Bros. Titles, but has also starred in games for every Nintendo console since her debut in Metroid for the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1986? Obviously, she did not realize that Samus is a woman because her face and body are obscured by her power suit in the character select screen. But nothing is hiding Princess Zelda's face. Why doesn't she count? The best explanation I can deduce why Zelda went unnoticed is probably because my former classmate does not know anything about the Legend of Zelda game series, besides the name of the series and that the playable character is a boy. And she has made the erroneous conclusion that Zelda is the name of this boy, and did not know who Link and young Link are. And, lest you forget, Zelda can change into another female character, Sheik. Yes, you have to select Zelda and then change into Sheik in-game, but she still has her own character model, moveset, abilities, and victory screen. Not to mention, she has become a separate and totally distinct character in Super Smash Bros. 4. And what about Nana, the female ice climber? The character who is identical to her brother Popo in moveset and abilities, and you can switch which one of them is controlled by the computer. Now, let's break down her main statement. No one wants to play Jigglypuff. Are you kidding me? Jigglypuff is currently ranked 5th out of 26 in the tier list by professional Smash players. It has the ability to kill an opponent literally by sleeping. And another thing, is Jigglypuff really a female? Kinda hard to tell just by looking at this picture, although apparently it's easier to identify the sex of a floaty puffball than that of Zelda. I looked it up, and apparently in the Pokemon universe, female Jigglypuff outnumber the male ones by a ratio of about 3 to 1. However, the gender of the Jigglypuff present in the Smash Bros. Universe is never specified, so Jigglypuff is usually referred with the pronoun it. Look, I know very little about Pokemon. I never played the games or had any interest in the anime. When you're a full-time student, a part-time worker, and, well, let's be honest, care about your personal appearance, there is only so much time you can devote to video games. I had to do research to find out this information. And not a lot of research. This took less than 5 minutes. I am about 5 to 6 years older than the average age of the rest of my classmates, including that woman. I have been playing video games since most of them were still in diapers. I still did research on the game I analyzed. I spent a large portion of my evening working on it. But my classmate could not be bothered with doing any research outside of looking at the character select screen. And she did a piss-poor job even at that. Lastly, Princess Peach first became playable in 1988 in the Western version of Super Mario Bros. 2 as one of 4 playable characters. Each one of them had an advantage over the other, Peach's being the ability to float briefly in a cartoony sort of way by using her dress, giving her longer jumps than the others. Yep, that's right, her stereotypical girly pink dress gave her a tactical advantage over the other characters. Because of this, my friend and I always chose her first when we played this game as kids. A couple of boys, ages 8 and 9, preferred to play as the pink dress wearing girl. This ability was held over in her inclusion into Super Smash Bros., which greatly improves her recovery ability. I can hear the outcries already. But wait, JR, why not design her to look more gender neutral? Because she's always been in her pink dress. She was originally in her pink dress, just like Mario always has his red shirt and blue overalls and thick mustache. If you change a time-honored and cherished character that we remember from our childhood, you piss off the fan base. Which is the main reason why movies based on video games tend to do so poorly, because they divert too far from the source material.
How are we gonna get across?
I can make it. I got a good feel.
You're not gonna jump?
Just do it. Come on. Just have faith. Jump. Just trust. Jump. Come on.
You're not gonna jump? You're Mario, dude. That's literally the only thing you do.
Now I'm sure you're wondering why this anecdote is worth the effort of making a video. And you're right, one ignorant and lazy classmate is, at worst, irritating. That was not the part that really got to me. The day the assignment was due, we had a class discussion about the software we analyzed. After my classmate gave her grossly inaccurate report of Super Smash Bros. Melee, I became irritated by the misrepresentation being presented to the class of students and watching our professor shake her head in disapproval. I raised my hand and corrected her by informing the class of the existence of Samus Aran and Zelda. My comments went unacknowledged and we simply moved on to the next topic. Later during the break, our professor pulled me aside and chastised me for pointing out that young woman's error, because it might have made her feel bad. Are you kidding me? If she feels bad, it's not her fault for presenting factually wrong information in an upper division college class? It is my fault for not tolerating it and correcting her? Listen, this is the real world. We are adults. In college. If she does not want to feel embarrassed by her presentation, then she should have actually made sure she knew what she was talking about. I do not know if this is a common occurrence in women's studies classes, but in any of my engineering or computer science classes, if someone says something that is factually wrong and is corrected, no one loses their shit. No one blames the student that made the correction, and if the student who made the mistake learns from it, that's what we do in school. It's considered a good thing. And let's be honest here, my classmate went into this assignment looking for sexism in video games. It did not matter what game she chose, she was going to give it a low grade no matter what.